What's up, guys? Matt here with Maple City Firearms. We're talking about the Remington 870 today, along with the Surefire Dsf. That's this thing right here. I'm going to tell you what I like. I'm going to tell you what I don't like. But most importantly, I'm going to tell you why you probably shouldn't buy either of these things. Let's do it. Okay, guys, so the Remington 870 and the Surefire Dsf. Now, first and foremost, I want to let you know this isn't a review necessarily of these. Just my experience over the last year and a half or so of owning both, and why I set it up this way, what I like and what I don't like. Same as always, right? Okay, so first and foremost, it's a real basic Remington 870. I don't know which model. It just says Remington 870 on it. I got it used, but it's in pretty good condition. I don't honestly use it all that much. Take it out to the range and I shoot it. That's about it. I know basically what I'm getting out of double-aught buck at certain ranges, and to me that's the most important thing, because for me this is a home defense tool, but it's kind of down the line. You know, it's not going to be my primary. It's not even going to be my secondary thing I go to. It's an extra thing there, you know, just in case a million things go wrong and all the evil aliens and zombies and bad guys in my basement decided to take all of my guns. I don't keep my guns in my basement. Why would I keep my guns in my basement? So many people in America keep their guns in their basement. You know what your basement is? One, your basement is cold and damp, which is going to cause rust. Two, your basement is obvious as hell. If someone goes into your house and they know you have guns, they're going down to your basement. And three, your basement is probably as far away from you most of the time as humanly possible. Unless you live in your basement, you shouldn't keep all your guns in your basement. But I digress. So, how did I set this one up? Again, it came pretty basic. I like keeping basic stocks on my gun. Doesn't matter if it's synthetic or if it's wood or whatever. I just make sure it's a sturdy stock. And I personally don't like the pistol grip stocks. They have their place, I'm sure, but for me personally, I just think that they're more cumbersome than you really need to deal with. And they can make it very difficult, if not impossible, to get to certain controls on the guns. I know that on the Mossbergs, for example, they have the safety selector right up here at the top. So if you've got a pistol grip down here, you have to completely break your grip and go over top to turn them on and off, which can really suck. This is a Remington, so your safety's down here. I don't even know where it is. And so that's not an issue, but nevertheless, I don't like the pistol grip ones. I just like to stick with stocks. I did put a newer stock on this. This is just a basic hardwood stock from Remington. Anyway, over here on the side, as you can see, what I went ahead and did, and what I do with most of my shotguns, if not all of them at this point, I go ahead and I put some hook Velcro or loop Velcro, the soft side Velcro, some adhesive stuff right there on the side. Okay, and then I get a bunch of these 12 gauge card elastic thingies, right, and they stick right on there. I have, I don't know, dozens of those things at this point. I get them from companies like SOE, S-Tac, S&J, and what's that one company? Oh, it's Perez. It's some Canadian company. It's probably French. I need to stop buying from them. One, because they're Canadian. Two, because they might be French. And three, because I can't pronounce the name of the freaking company. Anyhow, so yeah, wherever you can get those, get them. They do wear out over time, and we'll say that. The elastic can wear out, so you want to keep up to date with that, because what happens when the elastic wears out is you're out there and you're shooting some double-aught buck out of this thing, and they just start flying out. And if they can't stay on the gun while you're shooting it, what's the point? So anyway, just something to think about. But let's move on from there. It's got an 18-inch barrel on it with a fully extended magazine tube. And what that basically means is our magazine tube goes all the way to the end of the barrel, which means that we're going to get the most capacity as we can. Some people do run magazine tubes past the barrel, especially for like competition guns or whatever. You can do that, but you just want to make sure that you've got the right setup for that. Otherwise, you'll end up, potentially shooting it, of course. Anyhow, that's neither here nor there. So we go ahead and we take that all the way to the end, to the 18-inch mark. That's 18 inches, of course, on the barrel. And just so you guys know, if you're looking to stay legal, which I don't really know why you care, but I care, I get it. We don't want the ATF breaking down our doors and killing our dogs and our children and ruining our lives. But yeah, so if you want a shotgun to be legal for a shotgun, you don't want to have to go through all the rubbish with making it a short barrel shotgun or whatever and going through the NFA and all that crap, then you need to have an 18-inch barrel. With rifles, it's 16 inches. With shotguns, it's 18 inches. Why? Because the government's stupid. And now we're going to be talking about the Surefire Dsf. Oh, do I like this shotgun? Yeah, I like the shotgun. It works. A lot of people are going to complain about the Remington 870s that have been made over the last like 20 years, basically. And they've got a point. The Express models have had a lot of quality control issues. They use a lot of cheaper parts sometimes. And some people literally get these shotguns, they take them out to the range, and they cannot even eject a round. And that obviously really sucks. We've had shotguns come through that have had those issues. This one, it doesn't. That's all I can say. Can I recommend people go and get a Remington H70? No. For the most part, no. They have too many quality control issues for me to say go out there and take a gamble on it. Get yourself a Mossberg if you're looking for a pump gun. There. So, moving on. Surefire Dsf, worth it? Is it not? Well, first, let's talk about how this thing works. If you don't know what it is, basically it replaces the foregrip, and it's got a light on it. And it's got switches and everything. I'll show you where all those are at in a minute. You've probably never even seen one of these. There's not a lot out there in the wild because they're so freaking expensive, and you don't get a hell of a lot for it, quite frankly. I mean, it's a flashlight. Some of you were saying, why do you even need a flashlight on it? If I'm going to have a home defense gun, it's going to have a flashlight on it. No doubt about it. And I wanted to have a shotgun that I really that I could trust for home defense. And so that's why I wanted to set this one up the way it is. Again, not my primary, but nevertheless. So I decided I got a good deal on a Surefire Dsf, and so I pulled the trigger, pun intended, about a year and a half ago. And so far, it's fine, but it's not worth it. And let's get into it. So first and foremost, you're going to have 4 switches on it. They're identical on either side, okay? So the front one right here is going to have a little dimple on it, okay? That's so that when you're feeling for it, you can actually feel it. And that's going to be your momentary, okay? So that's your momentary right there. The rear one is going to be constant. And again, that is going to be on either side. I wish the rear switch actually had some clickiness to it so you could really feel it, but it doesn't. So whatever. I just like that tactile feel, that clickiness on a button, so that especially when it's constant, so I really know, okay, that's on or whatever, and I know I'm pushing the right one. Otherwise, you're just smashing it, and you don't realize that it's not the momentary. One of the cool things about it, if you do get kind of confused, if you go ahead and push the constant on, and then you push the momentary, because you realize you screwed up, the momentary will turn off the constant. Just a little tip there. There is a little kill switch here, okay, so that you don't accidentally, when you're storing it or when you're transporting it, you don't accidentally have something setting on it and having it left on, and then when you get there, your batteries are all out. It's got a way you can manipulate the settings or whatever to make it, I think, 300 lumens, but I think the highest setting is 600 lumens or whatever, for what it's worth. Again, that's fairly anemic by today's standards. This light's kind of old. It's still expensive as hell. You'll spend like $300 on it, but it is kind of old at this point in time. It's a little bit outdated, I guess. There are other companies that are making competitive options, but not a ton. I know Streamlight makes one, but you know, it doesn't have the Surefire name, right? The Surefire is better, and we just know that. With that being said, why do I say don't buy it? It's so freaking expensive. It's so heavy. The functionality of it is okay, I guess. But the fact that it only has 600 lumens, the fact that it's so heavy, the fact that it's so dang expensive, and also the actual, you know, the fact that you're actually supposed to use this to pump the gun, it's a little slick. You know, it's got some texturing in here, but in all reality, guys, it's too smooth. It hasn't been much of an issue for me, I'm not going to lie. I've thought about putting like some grip tape on there, and that would certainly help. Some people have complained, even that I've seen, that it's just too short, like this space right here. And look, they're dealing with what they're dealing with. They got to get a light in here somewhere, right? But it's just, you know, for my hands, it's fine. I have fairly small hands, but guys with big hands, they have issues. Their hands basically hang over it. And yeah, I could see that being an issue because, yeah, the light's cool and everything, but at the end of the day, what you really need is you need to be able to pump the gun to make it cycle, right? Again, that's going to be the inherent disadvantage of the pump gun in general. So I had said at the beginning of the video why you probably shouldn't buy either. Well, I think I've kind of explained why you shouldn't buy either. I haven't had any issues personally with this setup for myself, but there's so many better options, whether you want to go with like say an AR or it's like an AK or something, or whether you want to go with a handgun, you know, because you want to have that versatility, something more compact. It's something that you can hold it with one hand and manipulate the light with one hand and still, you know, grab your kid if you have to. I think I think that the handgun is sort of underplayed as a good home defense weapon. I understand it can be a bit anemic, especially with a 9mm, but I still think it has its place. So I personally would go with an AR and then maybe a handgun before I'd ever get to the shotgun. Now, people are going to say that the advantages of the shotgun are going to, for home defense in particular, are going to be that there's so many dumb things here. First of all, people say you don't need to aim a shotgun. If you're not going to aim your shotgun, don't get guns and not aim them. Don't be dumb. You need to aim your guns. And if you don't actually get your shotguns out to the range and pattern them and you know, actually see how they're going to hit on target at certain distances with different types of ammo, with different types of shotguns, please do not use it for home defense. You're going to get someone killed and it will probably be the wrong person, okay? So that's one of the things we always hear. You don't have to aim. That's absolute crap, especially at short distances that you're probably going to find, you know, in your house. You're not going to have that much spread, all right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at some other people's videos who know a hell of a lot more about this than I do. All I know is that that's some rubbish nonsense people spew out there, that you get a shotgun because you don't have to aim it. The other thing I hear people say is that the pump action shotgun is cool because I didn't expect this to turn into a rant video about why pump action shotguns probably aren't the best for home defense, but that's what it's turning into, whatever. So the other thing about that, people say that all you have to do is pump it and that'll scare any bad guys away. Maybe not. Maybe they won't know what it was, or maybe they'll just start shooting in the direction of the noise they just heard, or maybe I don't know, they're cracked out of their mind, they're on drugs and they don't give a crap. I don't know. Any number of things could happen. All I know personally is that my safety and the safety of my family is not going to be reliant on some scumbag downstairs being afraid of a noise. All right? Sorry, it's not going to happen. I've literally heard people say you don't even have to load the shotgun. All you have to do is make that noise and you're good to go. You know what? Save yourself some money. Go ahead and hook your phone up to like a cheap Bluetooth speaker and then just record that sound or something so you could just play it in the speaker. That'll save you some money. If you really think that's going to deter a bad guy, you go ahead and do that. Tell me how that works out for you. The other thing I hear, and this is just bizarre, clearly people who've never really trained with these guns in any realistic capacity, they'll say that they're really easy to operate. It's one of the more complicated weapon systems to operate. I mean, you have to work a pump on this thing, which really is archaic at this point if you think about it. And it's just so ridiculous the types of people give these guns to. It's a violent weapon system. Okay, you're shooting double-up buck out of this thing. If you're not used to it, you will have some bruises on your shoulder. It'll kick you back a little bit. And the idea that people are just giving these things to grandmas all over the United States saying, just rack it, grandma, you'll be fine. How do I rack it? It's locked up. Stop giving stupid advice to people if you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Find someone who knows what they're talking about. Send your loved one to them and have them get some help. Do not allow your ego to get involved in you helping other people potentially protect themselves and those they love. That has been the Remington 870 and the Surefire Dsf. Don't buy one, but I still think it's kind of cool. If you want to shoot mine, come out to the range and we'll shoot it. Stay armed, stay safe, have a great day.